Good evening and welcome to the Minions. Sora, damn it.
It is good evening.
Sora, your laughing is screwing me up. Good evening and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo Saturday edition. I'm your host and keeper of the Harry channel, and with me tonight are Minions Sora Luna.
Hello.
Serenity Star 13.
Hola.
DrFunctional.
Saturday Night Excellence.
Oh, Technical Excellence. And SkepTok.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so actually last week, I think I accidentally streamed the show in 1080p. Not that anybody seemed to complain, but it is what it is. We're streaming in glorious 4K, and all is right with the world, right, Skep?
If it got any better, I'd have to hire someone to help me enjoy it.
Yeah,
frankly, yeah.
You'd have to have somebody fall around just to pick your jaw up off the floor because you'd be in a constant state of amazement
of how wonderful things really are.
Yeah. I'm using 11% of my CPU.
We attacked the living shit out of Yemen.
You know, I started looking into that, and I didn't have time to prepare anything. Instead, I'd like to. The last sort of audible that I called right before this was to throw in some whining about Bill Burr, because he's finally pushed over to the level where I can't not say something. I've been sort of debating, is he dumb enough yet that we need to talk about him, yes or no?
No, he's in the obnoxious zone. We need to talk about Bill Burr.
We need to talk about him.
That is absolutely disgusting.
But before we do that, is there anything you would like to share with the class before we begin?
Not too much. This is, it's a pleasure to be here actually tonight. I had a little bit of stress come my way this week, and plus it's been a week of dealing with the VA, who has now gone to all primaries are non-MDs and non-DOs, all primary physicians. All primary physicians are no nurses.
Oh, cool.
Say that again.
All primary physicians at the VA hospital in Dallas are nurses. Mm-hmm. Now, the department head will be a doctor, and there's a doctor, assigned for like all of the nurse practitioners who report to him. But the primary care is all being done by nurse practitioners now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Canadian healthcare. Okay.
Yep.
The VA doesn't have can't keep enough doctors, so they've been slowly doing that to a bunch of VAs across the country.
Yeah,
for years.
Right. Yep.
Well,
it's sad, and I don't agree with it, but it's like socialized healthcare. Welcome to it.
Yeah, single payer. Better, faster, cheaper. Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks, but not surprised.
Keep that in mind when we get to the Bill Burr topic a little later. Yeah, sorry, Skep. That sounds like a real annoyance.
Yeah, this all happened because there's a long story behind it. It's long and frustrating. I just don't want to get into it.
I understand. Well, instead, we'll be annoyed about other things. We'll take your mind off it later tonight. So, hey, Functional. Hey, Functional.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Canadian tariffs? I don't know. What?
No, not tariffs.
Okay.
Maple syrup?
Yes, that fake shit that's corn syrup that they call maple syrup. That stuff is disgusting.
No, actually, if you look at the label, they call it table syrup.
Table syrup, yes.
It's got imitation maple flavor. Don't be an elitist.
It's got even an imitation
anus. It's
got an imitation maple name. When you use maple and table are almost the same word. That's why they call it table syrup. No one ever called it table syrup before some marketing guy on Fifth Avenue came up on Madison Avenue and came up with that Fifth Avenue display window.
Well, if you took all of the maple syrup production in the world and added it up, it would come nowhere close to the demand for table syrup.
Yeah.
I mean, there's clearly like the premium product, which is the real thing, and then the substitute that's used 95% of the time. Maybe I've got that ratio off a little bit. I know I still remember the first time I had real maple syrup. It's like you'd have the shitty stuff, right? And then as a little kid, they brought home this little can of stuff and it was metal and it was shaped like a little house. And there was a little screw cap where the chimney would be. And you'd pour that stuff on your pancakes and go, wait a second, what was that crap you've been feeding me all this time?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I know exactly
Basically.
with the chimney cap thing.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing. You look at all the maple syrup in the world, like 75% of it comes from Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec. Seriously. They are just huge maple syrup producers. They are the dominant force in maple syrup production in the world is Quebec.
So functional,
Yeah.
of people who care about the difference, right? I think that most people who care about the difference probably maple syrup would have to get a lot more expensive before they would use something else. They would just not eat something that needs maple syrup. Do you agree?
Yeah. I hate that in Jemima and all the table syrups. I just won't make pancakes or waffles or French toast or whatever requires it. But thankfully, I live in a region of the world that is the number 2 exporter of maple syrup. And literally, I have one within walking distance of me, a local producer, and thankfully, because of this location, I can get it relatively cheap, like a good one of those cans. Or they started putting them in these reusable glass bottles now, which are really nice bottles.
Yeah.
And it's just I'll put that shit on everything. I'll put that shit on pizza.
Have you ever had do you always get the grade A stuff that's like the lighter color, or do you ever dabble with the dark side and go for the grade B?
It depends on the season. Near the end of the season, you want to get that dark, nutty stuff because that's the stuff that's been at the end of the casks at the end of the season that's got some of that grit in it. That's a whole other beast, my friend. That's like the screech of maple syrup.
You have to, if you can, try to find them that have been sitting. Like I have one that's been in bourbon casks.
Yeah.
So like it has a bit of a taste to it. Oh my god, that is so good. That is like once you have that, it's very hard to go back to like your regular maple syrup.
Yeah, because they've
This
started
Star Wars
experimenting
stuff
with all
is-
sorts of things, and it's just like you can get. I think like there's a raspberry infused one, which they actually use beaver anus or whatever the hell that stuff is. But it's really it's really cool because they just put it in like the fermentation vent and like it just because it's not fermentation the boilers and it just goes into the super. But yes, the triple A like creme de la creme early season blonde. Oh.
Yeah,
Here's how you say orgasmic.
I don't know if it's your network or something's going on. Your audio is very inconsistent. So let's just cross our fingers and hope that bad things don't happen.
Am
tonight.
I like cutting in and out, or is it the volume?
No.
You were kind of going muffled, then coming back in, then going muffled, then coming
Going
back
muffled. Exactly.
How does it sound now?
You sound fine now.
in. For now, yeah.
You sounded
fine?
fine to me.
All right.
Maybe
Okay.
because it's Canadian.
I don't
Yes.
know. For some reason, my in settings sound thing, my microphone was turned down to 7%. I don't. Now it's down to 30. Like I just put it up to 70.
Yeah.
There we go. That should be fine. And it's still at 70. Okay. Well.
Technical excellence.
By the way, just one other thing on the maple syrup thing.
Mhm.
Vermont made maple syrup is made in New Jersey. Just thought I'd pass that along.
They don't actually harvest maple sap in Vermont, or do they just move the sap from Vermont to New Jersey?
It's a little bit of maple syrup. It was 10% as of the early 1900s, and now is about 2%. They switched it out to cane sugar from corn syrup. They switched it back to cane sugar, but it's cane sugar and artificial syrup.
So
mostly.
is it kind of like the Beechwood aging of Budweiser?
Yeah, the
You just
Beechwood
open
aging.
that big steel tank and throw a couple wood shavings in there.
Wood shave, that's right.
Get to work there,
Beechwood
Beechwood.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean
Like
the actual
steep.
brand Vermont?
Vermont made.
Okay, because of the brand Vermont, that's just maple syrup. That's all. What's all that's on their ingredient list. They're not.
No. I'm not talking about the syrup. I'm talking about Vermont made, MAID, like a maid who comes to clean your house.
Ah, got it. It's a brand.
Okay.
Got it.
It is a brand. It's the dominant brand of maple syrup, and I always thought it was funny because it's mostly not maple syrup. It's never been more than 10% maple syrup.
I have never heard of it.
It's funny because the breakdown across Canada is pretty funny. It's like BC has 82 maple syrup farms, Alberta 7, Manitoba 24, Saskatchewan 67, and then Ontario's got like 2,673, and then Quebec 7,639 farms, and then somehow Sora, even the Maritimes got Chapik. New Brunswick's got 191, Newfoundland's got 152,
Yep,
Labrador's got 11. What's that?
You went in and out again.
What? Mother.
You
whore.
just did it again.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The mother whore bitch. Why? Harry, what are you doing to me?
Well, we'll just
I'm gonna
surge her
restart.
through.
Hey, all I know is West Virginia's got like 50 farms. That's all I know.
Okay, I think he's going to log back in. But hi, Serenity.
Hello.
Did you want to talk about maple syrup, or would you like to
My God, y'all are
talk about
elitist.
something else?
I've never given a crap what they.
Well, see, but that's the thing. I'm not being elitist at all. I fully acknowledge that not everybody can do this, but it's one of those, like, some people have a strong preference, some people don't. It's kind of weird because most things have a certain amount of elasticity in terms of choosing one thing over the other, right? So, like, you know, if the really good Irish butter costs too much, this is the elitist thing, right? You might just switch to Dairy Gold, you might even switch to margarine, whatever. But people who care about maple syrup don't typically want to switch. They have a very inelastic demand curve when it comes to this stuff.
Which is fair. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like when people are like, when you begin to eat grass-fed beef, you can't go back. It's like, bitch, yeah, I can, because I know it's not grass-fed beef. I'm completely aware of the fact that Wendy's is not grass-fed. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like table syrup. Like, I've grown up with Mrs. Butterworth. Mrs. Butterworth does not bother me. I know it's not maple syrup because, like I said, we have 50 farms here in West Virginia. I know what real maple syrup tastes like. It's just like
It doesn't taste like Mrs. Butterworth's.
And that's fair, and that's fine. And it's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I'm not willing to pay some of the money some of these farmers rightfully have the right to ask for to have something that I only eat every once in a while.
Do you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Do you have? Do you put maple syrup, or just in quotes, a maple syrup-like substance on French toast, or do you go with the powdered sugar
I do both.
at the same time, or just
Yes.
alternately?
Hello,
Wait,
Sugar
what?
Rush. Woo!
You put powdered sugar on your French
A little
toast
bit. You
and
put
then
the- you
pour
put the-
syrup over the top?
You put syrup first, then you put the powdered sugar over the syrup.
You
A
want
little
to?
bit, not a lot, just a little bit.
Okay.
Wait. You just said you put sugar on syrup. Is that
Yep.
did that come out of your mouth?
Or
Yep,
syrup
it's
on sugar?
called
Yeah.
Sugar Rush.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you are going to be, okay, I think this is just you and me here. Okay. For this one, I think everybody else is going to think we're nuts. But when I was a kid, the way my grandmother made French toast, okay, she'd put the custard, soak it, do all that sort of stuff. Then she would melt like a sea of butter on top of it. Okay.
Yep.
And then sprinkle, powdered granulated sugar on top of it, like you're trying to use kitty litter to pull up spilled motor oil. And, until it all soaked in. So it was just like all this granulated sugar and melted
Just-
butter.
Yes.
And see, they worked in hand because the butter keeps the sugar on the toast, but the sugar allows more butter to be placed on top so it doesn't run off. So there's a beautiful synergy of fat and sugar that takes place.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm not elitist.
Hey man, I have, and the thing is, I can taste the difference. I can acknowledge the difference. I'm aware of the difference. I just don't care. That's how I am. It's like whenever anybody tries to say, "Once you do this, you'll never go back," bitch. Yes, I can. I am a.
You're not the
mutt
boss of me.
I'm a mutt from West Virginia. I will eat whatever the hell I want to eat, and I will go back and forth however I want to.
Well, in terms of elitist thing, the one thing where I'm really not elitist is lamb versus mutton.
like
I'm
that
actually
better.
pretty flexible about most of my eating habits.
Yeah, I like mutton better.
I'm just going to make a stew if it's mutton and not say, here's a leg of lamb, have fun chewing. Hope your teeth are in good shape. You know,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good braised piece of mutton.
So is there something other than food that you'd like to talk about before we move on to Sora?
Well, is she back? Is she back yet? Nah, she's
You finally let me back in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am the very model of a modern Major General of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Not really. Not much has been going on. Mostly, it's just been pretty chill this week. So
Okay.
we're Mother Nature is doing what she does during this time of year for us, which is can't make up her damn mind. So we're going from 80-degree days to 40-degree days within 5 days. So welcome to the Mid-Atlantic.
For F?
4DF. Yes.
Ugh. That's cold.
That's fairly normal for around here. So you get used to it because Mother Nature gets schizophrenic during spring and fall. Don't know why. She's
Okay.
Just to fuck with you.
I've learned to accept it.
Right.
You know,
Lived
about
here
the
too
only
long.
thing that bothers me when it gets cold is if I'm on two wheels and it's
Yeah.
really cold.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Without getting into details of which rider community I'm in, my bike has very poor hand covering. So at 65, 70 miles an hour, when it's about 40 degrees out, my hands
yeah.
get cold. So even with heated grips and heated gloves, my hands just freeze. Other than that, I just don't care. It's like I'm pretty tough and I
one
just
thing-
don't care.
One thing that I found about riding motorcycles is you're always colder when you're riding. It's always cold. I was always cold when I was riding down there in Monterey and around San Francisco. That may have been just the climate there. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was recently downtown in the city, and I noticed that it kind of looked like Mumbai and all with all their electric scooters and Indian men sitting around smoking around the scooters, not smoking the scooters. And they had these built-in like giant handhole mitten things where the handle would be. Amazing.
A lot of bikes have
That's
those.
so alien to me. I've lived here most of my life. I've never seen anything like it. When we would ride our bikes or motorcycles or e-bikes or whatever. We just had our gloves.
You're still doing it functional, by the way.
God damn it!
Yeah.
No, we'll soldier through. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Sora, are you
Okay,
back
beat us.
Are you back, Sora? Nope, she's not back. Okay, well, she will be back
She's
eventually.
probably fighting the dogs away from the food.
Yeah,
And he's probably trying to tackle her, going, "Gimme!"
yeah. I think what was it I said? I love that joke. It's like, DoorDash, it's so expensive. Yeah, you hired a private taxi for your burrito. Yeah, that's what it is. DoorDash is great. It was really great during the fine pandemic.
Not now.
What I mostly use it for is when I want to order from places that I'm scared to go to. I'm like, oh, there's
Yeah.
really good Mexican food over here, but I might die. So DoorDash.
It's always
DoorDash. It's cheaper than a copay. DoorDash.
apparently.
All right. So, let's see. Shall we begin? Spreadsheet. We actually have a ton of different stuff we could do. Should we just complain about Bill Burr and get this out of the way?
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Okay, well.
I never liked Bill Burr even before that, so.
Okay, so I sort of liked Bill Burr. I thought he was kind of funny. But as what's happened with a lot of comedians, they start to sound woke or stupid and woke. And the first thing I do is find their wife's Twitter page and see what kind of stuff they've been spouting. Now,
Yep.
Bill Burr is he still in The Mandalorian, or is that even still a thing? But he's on
Yeah,
Disney's
Mandalorian's-
payroll, right?
Mandalorian.
So maybe it's because he's on Disney's payroll, so he's required to just toe the line. I don't know. I can't read minds. But he's been saying things sort of like, here, let me cue this up here. Open link.
He has
Yeah.
not been confirmed for season 4, so he has not been confirmed for it.
So let's just play this. Okay.
act is right now is I'm trying to get regular people to stop yelling at each other and realize that it's a select few group of nerds, okay, eating raw almonds and doing their stupid workouts and everything and just competing with each other to have the biggest infinity pool. And
See, he doesn't like elitists either. He probably thinks people who use real maple syrup are a bunch of idiots.
the rest of us are getting pushed down. And they've politicized the whole stupid thing, and we're falling for it.
And who's the they? Besides the people who eat almonds?
That idiot Elon Musk,
Oh,
that guy, like he's going to, who evidently is a Nazi. Like, I just refuse to believe that it was an accidental 2-time Sieg Heil. And he does it at a presidential inauguration. This is why I hate liberals.
Dumb shit.
It's like liberals have no teeth.
Nobody ever thought that.
Nobody thinks this except for idiots. His wife's probably on Bluesky and just reading this shit, and then just during pillow talk, she's just telling him,
honey, do you know what Elon did?
You know what Elon did? He did a Roman salute.
Oh my God, I write a joke about that. That's great, honey. Thanks.
And he actually just doesn't like rich people in general.
Right.
Or he
people
could
that are
have his
stressed-
own thought on his own without his wife being involved, because
It is possible, but I've noticed a pattern, and you know how we like to cherry pick our data to make our theories work, at least, we humans. And the same thing happened with Paul F. Tompkins. Like, he was what a guy I really like, Thrilling Adventure Hour, right? And remember back when the guy who did Sherlock, what's his name, was actually good? Moffat. Stephen Moffat.
He was. You and I have different disagreement on whether he was actually good. But
Well,
anyway,
he was better back in the day, and then suddenly something sort of snapped, and then you go look at Sue Virtue's Twitter page. I was like, oh, okay, well, no point in having a lot of strife at home. This is my stupid theory, and so they just go woke, and maybe it's a combination of factors. Maybe it's Hollywood, maybe it's all these things coming together, and it's just a problem. But here's Bill Burr talking about billionaires.
Out there because of these f***ing billionaires. And they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much f***ing money in this country. And there's so much work being done, And if you work a full f***ing week at a job, you should be able to pay your f***ing rent.
You should, but the idea that it's the billionaires that are causing this problem, I think his blame is kind of misplaced. Now, a lot of people like Ben Shapiro and all the normal folks have been going after him. And the people that like what he's saying are the Young Turks. The Young Turks think he's just great right now. There's a whole, when I was trying to search for videos about this, it was really easy to find TYT and TYT Sports and all the people that love all this. It's not even nitwit. It's just dumb.
Nitwit.
It's just, I don't think he really understands the human condition or economics or much of anything.
Well, he certainly doesn't understand economics. The idea that labor has an inherent value is the basis of Das Kapital. That's the basis of communism. Is that labor has inherent value. That labor doesn't have inherent value. Labor has about whatever value someone is willing to trade money for, or something else of value that is usually rendered in monetary terms.
Yeah. But this is just not socialist stuff. What do I want to say? This kind of class warfare sort of stuff that he's doing. Yeah. And, well, first of all, he's incredibly naive about the Elon Musk thing. He hates Elon Musk. Going back, he's hated him for the longest time. So I don't think I'm going to get intellectual honesty from him. He's not going to give him the most favorable interpretation, barring any knowledge of what's happening. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of Bill Burr. I don't think he's that funny. I don't think he's that smart. I don't think he really understands things. Like, when Dave Chappelle makes a joke, right? You get the sense that he has a deep understanding of what makes people tick under the hood.
Yes, very much
like,
so.
He is an absolute comedy genius.
Yeah. This guy's a joke reciter.
Or even somebody who does really good crowd work like Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr
yeah.
is freaking
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
I love Jimmy Carr.
And he does like really smart sort of comedy. And he's smart enough to know what he doesn't know and keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
I really like that. I don't know. It's this is a thing that apparently there's a whole bunch of buzz going on about it. Maybe it's mostly just me and Skep, but are any of you, the rest of you, even hearing about this?
No, and I've never liked Bill Burr, so.
Well, I officially don't like him anymore. I kind of liked him 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been liking him less and less. And I don't think it's me that's changed that much because I loved comedy then. I love comedy now. I like a lot of different comedians. I just don't like Bill Burr. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a comedian. I just don't like him.
What about as the human being?
Well, I'm sure he's doesn't kick puppies all the time. He's probably decent, whatever. It's just.
Well, at least he's got that going for him.
Yeah, at least he's got that going for him. That not kicking puppies thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's cross that off the list. And I'm sure he doesn't like me too. We can agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of Elon Musk, here, how about this? How about I saw you were going to do that, and I changed this. There, suck it. Okay, so...
Oh, yeah, you were going to get a paywall.
Yeah, Georgia Maloney. Let's see. Are we actually showing up? Okay, good. You remember her that she was making goo-goo eyes at Elon? I know Serenity was here when we were talking about that. Wasn't there a lot of Twitter about Elon and Georgia Maloney making eyes at each other?
I have no memory of this, so I don't think you're thinking of me.
Oh, you might not have been on that night. Okay.
Is it time for Elon to get a hot little Italian sports car?
Well,
considering the crazy he likes to mount, I highly doubt she'll go for her.
Well, here, let me just read a little
He
bit.
wants baby number 15 or whatever.
He's at like baby number 30 at this point.
Well,
I
she
think.
did get
Crazy
divorced about a
likes
year
to
ago,
mount.
so it's not like it's not like it would be a problem.
You're not.
Yeah, but she doesn't read Communist Manifesto for the paparazzi, so she's probably not his type. I'm sorry.
I really like her. I liked her before any of this happened. I mean, I'm always afraid to like politicians because all they do is break your heart and let you down. But I really don't want her to be terrible. But just reading a little bit of this, it says, Georgia Maloney is facing a political storm over the Italian government's talks with Elon Musk's SpaceX to provide secure communications, just as Europe is launching its own rival satellite initiative. Okay. I mean, people are salty about her talking to the guy who runs arguably the most successful satellite communication company in the world. And somehow they've spun this into being a problem. If the European thing was in service, offered the same coverage, and had a competitive price, then you might have an argument. But it doesn't. She's talking to the leading vendor, and she happens to have a personal relationship with the guy there, so she just picks up the phone. She doesn't have to go through sales support to get the guy on the line. But I think if people want to be pissed off at Elon Musk, they're just going to be pissed off at Elon Musk.
Yeah. They just resent him because they think he's like Scrooge McDuck lying in his swimming pool full of gold coins.
Well, he does do idiotic things as well, because, in the full Howard Hughes sort of thing, like I keep saying,
to make his
he's like a public Howard Hughes.
He's probably a few months away from, like I said, moving into the penthouse in Vegas and storing his urine in jars with labels, with dates on it.
I'd be amazed if he wasn't already doing it.
So, Sora, you were pissed off at him because he was making a bunch of stupid comments about Romania, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was sticking his nose into it. So basically, he was making too bad you're not. Here's the death of democracy and all that sort of stuff. So basically, Romania's blocking a former
Grosson or something, whatever the heck his name is.
Pro-Putin, pro-Russia, pro-Soviet, pro-communism piece of shit from running again to be president.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, the people should be able to vote whoever they want. This is again. Like, shut the fuck up and get out of politics that have nothing to do with America.
Yeah, I don't know in terms of the EU how much control they have over people who run in elections for different countries. I don't pretend to know how any of that's supposed to work. I mean, I would assume it's legal, right? Or the
Well, he's
EU
been
probably
legally
wouldn't be doing
barred.
it.
Lock him.
Yeah, it's
they
legal.
legally barred him from being in it. The Garskull, whatever the hell his name is, guy. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I mean, as an American, we don't
Or
like
just
the
was
sound
something, I don't know what his first name is.
of anybody blocking anybody for reasons yada yada yada. But I assume that that's what Romania signed up for when they joined the EU, right?
It wasn't the EU that blocked it.
Oh, who
It was
blocked it?
It was the Romanian court that
Romanians.
blocked it,
Oh,
not the EU.
okay. I'm just
The
trying
EU
to keep
has
up. I literally
nothing to do
admit I
with
do
it.
not know.
No,
The
this is
only
just,
reason
pure
why
Romanian.
Yeah,
politics.
the only reason why Romanian stuff pops up for me is because of Sora. It was the Romanian courts that blocked it, not the EU. The EU has no bearing. Well, they may have had bearing behind the scenes, but every headline I saw was the Romanian courts.
Oh well, that's better because Van der
We have,
Hosen or whatever her name is
my-
isn't doing it.
What I'm pissed off about is that we do have a border with the Ukraine. And there's a history, obviously, with Russia, being because we were behind the Iron Curtain. So we don't need someone like interfering with that, like putting, as it is, there's been issues with Ukrainian refugees and giving money and stuff already out of Romania. And so they probably didn't want, in case there was enough bad blood, to put us into a pro-Putin stance. I say us, I have nothing to do with this, but you know. And yeah, okay, well, I'm sorry, that country was never exactly, the democracy of the West was never the democracy of Romania. So it was a slightly different flavor always. And they never quite shook off the regiment of communism, even after it fell. And there's still a lot of people who used to be in party who wish that would be back because they had power at the time, and now they're nothing but country bumpkins with heirs.
So what the hell did Musk say? Basically, he criticized the court for blocking this guy. Is that what he said?
Oh yeah, he was trying to say, oh, this is not how it should be. The people, if the people want to vote for him, the people should. I don't remember. I had to link that one article in the Discord at one point, but I don't remember what he said.
I'm quite happy to have anti-communist laws.
Yeah, McCarthy was right. Fuel up the
And
helicopter.
so, I mean, you know, I'm pretty like open about like, you know, free speech near absolution for me, and I know that's a contentious point for some people, but I think that there are certain extenuating circumstances, like communism, like terrorism, that there have to be some concessions for the public safety, like national security, public safety kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't need.
It is a
like-
very fine line, but like, for instance, I haven't been able to substantiate this, but there were rumblings. There was various tweets and some like third-party sort of like news websites that aren't very, you know, legit. Like, well, should say legit, but like I have no way to verify this information. But apparently, there were rumblings that Kash Patel warned that if Jagmeet Singh were to step on American soil, he'd be arrested because he's got ties to the Khalistani terrorists.
Okay.
And so I thought it was very, very funny, like that it sort of overlapped. Like, yeah, I don't. Maybe Elon doesn't realize what, you know, because he thinks now that he's got to talk about everything. Like, honestly, when you get a bit of fame, when you get a little bit of political power, you don't have to say. It's okay to say I don't know. And the mind-boggling
yet,
thing about
don't say anything. Don't even.
that's the thing,
enter
Sora.
the
Like
conversation.
it's mind-boggling to me because
Good
he's
advice,
said
Sora.
that so many times about other things. Like, I don't know, or I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, like, you know, he's usually smarter than that. So to hear this, it's kind of like, what's going on here? Something
Functional.
doesn't smell right.
Functional. Do
And
you,
I'm
you remember
sure
the
it's
rules, right?
nothing in the long run.
Should I
just
say it?
pissed off.
Should it be said by me? And should it be said by me right now?
Exactly. Now,
Yeah,
maybe
and
I
he
should
wasn't-
send
he
that to
wasn't
Elon.
following
I'll
your
get him a
advice.
T-shirt that says that or something. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, we should. I need a T-shirt like that. Ow! I need a placard like that, like right over my computer because you guys know me.
Okay, let's let Sora back in. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. What were you going to say?
No, you're fine. No, I was just saying, and I'm sure like his comments and stuff. It's not really there. Of course, there's going to be articles about it because he's a main figure right now, and it's not going to go anywhere possibly. But it doesn't matter. It's like what you should be aware. So with him, I don't know what's calculated and what's stupidity, right? And with all these talks of Putin was friendly, they had decent discussion with Putin, and then you've got your new BFF Elon in the mix. What the heck is going on there? You have Luke Oil, which is, I believe, Russian-owned. That is a predominant gasoline that brings oil into Romania. That's could be an issue there. Like, what's going to happen if they start bringing like hurt feelings and political stuff already there, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot of historical feelings there, and I think he needs to honestly go sit on a spike and spin. I didn't care for him much before, but now I really can't stand him.
There you go.
I find it. I also find it suspect.
Take care of your
because
babies. Deadbeat dad.
It's the usual suspects who are calling Georgescu.
Oh, you're a bit
you're
fading
going
away
in and
there,
out.
functional.
The guy's name's Georgescu.
Yes.
Georgescu,
Okay,
yeah, that's the last
Because it's the same usual suspects that are telling me, "Hey, he's a bad man. He's a communist. He's this. He's that." Not you. Like media personalities, media outlets, who are the same people who have been lying to me for my entire life. So I find it hard to believe that, and it very well. Like I don't know. I'm just saying, it very well might be that way. But I'm pretty
Let
sure
me put
that
it
Elon.
this way.
But hold on,
There's
I'm pretty sure Elon is looking at it the same way in that, CNN says he's the bad guy, so therefore they're full of shit. He's not the bad guy, which.
Yeah, that I can see that. Yeah, I will say that in general, Romanian politics is never without some sort of idiot in there, and they're all corrupt, really, or having the benefit of wanting benefits from something else, and whether it's a PM or the president, it doesn't matter. It's the country suffers. So, and it's been like this for a very long time. So, he wants my fries. Sorry, you hear the dog barking. But yeah, so it's not unusual to have people that are corrupt running or even being elected and running for like 3-4 terms. Okay, so that's kind of par for the course for that country.
It's like Chicago, but Eastern.
Frustrating.
So, Serenity, we were talking about I know you were here for this conversation. Trains, Amtrak, Elon and his stupid comment last week,
Yeah,
right?
I wanted to smack him. Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to be fair and balanced. I defend the
Oh, I
guy
know
when
you
I
are.
think
I know.
when I think he needs to be defended, and I call him an idiot when I think he needs to be called an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got no dog in this fight. I am not his baby mama. I'm not getting.
Thank God, that would be awkward.
Yeah, that would be and painful. Amtrak supporters respond to sad situation comments with rare footage of the new high-speed Acela. So,
I heard about this one.
yeah, so I guess they're putting in some new high-speed line. Not only is it like high speed, 165 miles an hour. I guess this is going to run from down south up to DC, but 90-something% of it's made in the United States, blah, 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 blah. It ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Amtrak isn't trying, and where it makes sense that they are improving things. I think this could be all right.
They just released pictures of the new family suites that are going to start being on some of the trains. Because okay, for those who do not know trains, you have coach, you have roomettes, which is two seats looking at each other. It can usually handle one or two people, and then there's a drop-down bed. There is the suite, which is technically can hold 3 to 4 people, and it has 2 drop-down beds. One is the seat itself, and the one's from up above. And then family suites, and it usually comes with a bathroom and a shower and stuff like that. And then there's the family suites, which is kind of 2 of the suites put together. And they've started to redesign the family suites to be a little bit more, that have a little bit more foot room and stuff like that when you put the beds down. The issues, because I've been in those before, and when the beds are up, they're absolutely fun. But when the beds are down, you kind of lose a little bit of foot room. So they're redesigning stuff. So it's like I'm very defensive of trains because I'm a train otaku. I will always be a train otaku. There's nothing that's going to change that. But it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I like, as someone who's ridden trains, obviously not as long as Skep has, because I know Skep has ridden trains longer than I will ever be alive.
Yep.
But
I was riding in them in the 1950s.
see, there you go. But it's one of those things who's ridden them since she was 7 years old, and I'm in my 30s now. I've seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of stuff get better. It's something that, especially when it comes to land-based travel, when most people have given up on it when they shouldn't have, it took a lot of time and it took a lot of investment, and it's going to take more time. But I like the steps that we are seeing train travel go in North America, and I am happy to see it going further and getting better.
If you look at how, in terms of fuel efficiency, if you look at how you can move something or someone from point A to point B, the most fuel efficient way is by ship. Hands down. There's nothing more fuel efficient than a ship. When you look at
A coefficient of friction.
tons per mile, buoyancy is great. Don't have to hold yourself up, just move forward. The next most efficient thing is a train. Trains are great. I mean, and you can build them in ways such that they work around obstacles. They can go over them, they can go under them, they can do whatever. So, there's definitely a place for trains. And the United States is not the same as Europe, and it's not the same as Japan. It's a little harder for us in some places. And did they screw up the food situation on all of the trains? Yeah. I mean, are they screwed up in some places? Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like Elon, as a pseudo-official member of the U.S. government, should probably choose his words a little more carefully, because he is kind of acting as an unofficial ambassador for the U.S. government right now.
And
it just seems a little irresponsible, his comment earlier, and probably ignorant as well.
well, it's the problem with the fact that he's, and this is not a blanket judgment, but he's on the spectrum, and sometimes people on the spectrum don't understand that just because a head is nodding doesn't mean it agrees with you. Because they're not good at reading social cues. Sometimes they're nodding their head because they're like, keep going, keep digging your hole, dude. Because this works out perfectly for me. And I think he's got, right now, too many nodding heads around him. And he doesn't understand that they don't have his best intentions at heart, or the country's.
They're just trying to curry favor.
Well, they're curry favor, but they're also trying to get the sound bite that'll get them the millions of clicks that they need to monetize whatever they want, or to get them further up in their system.
Okay,
and that's the problem, is that I don't want to say he needs a handler, but he kind of needs someone to look at him and have a rolled up newspaper bop him on the nose and go, no, shut up, just shut up. And the thing is, none of the girls that are in his life are going to do that, because they make money off of him being stupid. So, and the thing is, when I say stupid, I don't mean he's actually unintelligent, but even intelligent people will do stupid things, and this is the stupid stuff he does. It's like,
he needs a grown-up family member who loves him to come
like
over to him and say, look, something.
No,
it's like, if he had been on it, like if he'd been on the California Zephyr, like he'd taken a ride on the California Zephyr, and then he said that, I would let it go. Do I agree with him? No, because I've seen so many videos and pictures, and I have family members who traveled that one and said it's amazing. Would I be a little bit more agreeable with him? But as far as I know, the man's never been on an Amtrak train. So it's like, why are you talking about something you've never done?
Well, he was proposing the idea that you could do suborbital rocket flights to get people from point A to point B, which would be literally the least fuel efficient way to move people.
Yeah, no thank you. It's literally
almost
you go up, go down.
Almost can't do it any worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you go up and then go down. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's fine. So
like,
can
no,
we
let it go.
save a little bit of vitriol for Gavin Newsom? Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So I assume everybody here knows who Gavin Newsom is and hates him, right? The governor of California.
Yeah, he's
Right.
Prick, yes.
So does he give you the ick, Sora?
Yes.
Okay.
There's something inherently slimy about him and Trudeau. It's just something.
Revealed, Gavin Newsom secretly funded monument to himself inside San Francisco City Hall.
That sounds like narcissism.
Oh God.
Yeah. So after he, went on to bigger and better things, and was no longer mayor of San Francisco, he basically donated money to have this delightful bust of him placed in San Francisco City Hall.
Well,
There's
it's
a
long
plaque
way
and
from being
everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let's see. It was like $100-something thousand. Let's see, where is it? Well, it doesn't
That
matter.
must
I mean, it
cost
wouldn't.
$100,000.
It wouldn't matter if it was $10. The fact
Yeah,
of the
it's
matter
still
is, he
stupid.
still did this. You know.
Yeah.
It's
What a weirdo.
There's no way to spin this that doesn't seem slimy.
Well, it's like I can understand if he had done something great, but he hasn't.
This is something people are supposed to do for you to
Yeah,
recognize your awesomeness. This is you're not really supposed to put
a
on your own
narcissist
awards
is gonna
ceremony
make
for
sure it
yourself.
Oh
A
yeah,
narcissist
absolutely.
is going to make sure it happens.
Yeah. And there's more stuff about his wife, Siebel, and money, and I want to get into it. It's just, there's just always something. There's just always something with this guy, and I don't want to get sued. But this part you can't sue me for because it's pretty well documented. All right. What does that say? If you distill the essence of everything, what life is about, every single one of us is given a short moment. Okay, shut up. I don't want to read that.
Really insufferable.
Moron. Okay. Let's put a little checkbox next to making fun of Gavin Newsom. Oh,
That makes him look so much more attractive than what he is too.
yeah. So the city of Oroville, California is voted to become a non-sanctuary city. Who saw that coming? Well, just present that as is and move along.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Let's see.
Maybe more will follow.
Yeah, maybe more will follow.
What? Wasn't
How
there, like,
about-
an executive order try to be put through that penalized sanctuary cities?
That might
Or
have
am I
something to do
remembering
with it too. Let's
Yeah.
see. Who have I not spoken with much recently? It might be Skep.
Yeah, it's Skep.
Hey, Skep, what would you like to talk about? What kind of thing? Give me a topic.
Well, what? Give me
An area.
choice.
Okay. Well, we could talk about rare colorized photos inside the Hindenburg. That
Yeah.
went over like a lead balloon. No, you want to do that?
Sure, let's do that. Let's look at them.
Okay, so I found this
Imagine
cool video, which I'm going to mute because I don't care about that. But they took a bunch of these photos from inside the Hindenburg and colorized them. And I got to say, that as a fan of mid-century modern sort of European things, this is very classy. Can you imagine crossing the Atlantic on this thing? I mean, minus the explosions and Nazi regalia.
When I was going over to Belgium in 1959, we knew we were either going to fly on one of these new propeller-driven airplanes across the ocean, or we were going to go on a ship. We would have gone on the SS United States or the SS Queen Mary or whatever it was. You know, one of the Canary lines. Maybe SS United States. And when the appointments aboard those cruise ships remind you of this decor exactly. I mean, it's the same exact look and feel as the decor on those cruise ships.
This looks like a very classy way to travel.
Yeah.
This is the maple syrup, the real maple syrup of air travel. This is
Well, they
this is not
basically
cheap.
So
took
cool.
Yeah.
a giant volume of gas, okay, of flammable gas, and attached a small office building to it. That's basically what that is.
Yeah. I mean, man, I'm still sort of surprised that thing caught fire. I mean, it's not like it was a huge balloon full of nothing, you know, and it was like an uncontrolled thing. I mean, this was a pretty sophisticated thing. So here's the interior of the structure. You can see this fine, well-made aluminum structure here, and then the helium was actually in tanks. It's not
Hydrogen.
just a big balloon. I'm sorry, hydrogen. I'm sorry. It should have been helium.
What to say? Yeah, it should have been helium.
Now, hold on. It was not hot. It was not helium. Helium is what I'm inhaling right now.
So during this, I wrote a comment to myself here because it said, when they talk about internal frame of the airship being made of duraluminum, I thought, why not magnesium? and then ...
No, what?
I realized that would have been an even worse idea.
Wait a minute.
Well, it's lighter. You've got hydrogen. Why weigh it down with aluminum? Just make it out of magnesium, right, Skep?
Sure, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine.
That's the smart thing to do. See, that's how you take
That's a
IQ
bright
and
idea.
turn it into success.
That's right. It's a bright idea.
It is the brightest idea.
So between the original Rocketeer movie and the third Indiana Jones movie, I have a fascination with blimps because those were always cool. But the Rocketeer movie made it so much cooler. But yeah,
Yeah.
love seeing this stuff. This is cool.
And then this happened.
And then the boom.
I wonder if it was sabotage because
It probably was.
Because it really feels like, I don't know, knowing what I know about Germans and how things go, I'm kind of surprised that this
The fact
happened.
that there was a camera crew there, like nowadays.
Well, it was
like,
it arriving was an event. The camera crew was
Yeah.
there because they were covering it as a news event.
that's what I'm
like the
saying, though. But
space
it's
shuttle
like
landing.
it's like the fact that it happened
Right then.
when it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because nowadays everybody has a camera on their phone, but like back then, to have that camera all the way up and like even the announcer was already plugged into the vocal reel of the old camera because he was like, didn't he say like, oh, it's going down or something? Like, I can't remember if he said anything or not, but yeah.
Oh,
it's
the
like,
humanity, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the huge
Oh,
manatee.
Green Badger Outdoors says, wasn't it painted with this essentially thermite too? Thermite. Yeah, thermite.
Also not wrong.
Oh, that's hot.
That's still the one lady in the background on the right side that looks like it's just like demons on their shoulder.
The amount
Oh.
of thermite or aluminum and the extra punch that you would get from that is so small in comparison to the kinetic energy released when that gas envelope went up that it would not make any difference at all. Actually,
Yep. Well, anyway, yeah, the style of this thing this is kind of impressive, but just from every perspective you look at it, this is kind of an amazing thing they were doing. Too bad it's associated with the bad people from World War II.
oh well.
Yeah, a lot of that
Irish?
a lot of that 1910, 1930 through 1930 European design stuff is pretty interesting. It's very sparse, but it's like they were really like, hey, this is the modern world. We need to embrace that. So you get these very clean lines. It's retrofuturism in furniture form. Though I digress. Okay, Hindenburg. Check. Fun-
Where,
Functional.
is that the one that Led Zeppelin played in?
Yeah, that's the one that Led Zeppelin played in. So, functional.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Functional.
Oh, you're going in and out again, dude.
I don't know. I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Then let's have a conversation. Okay.
You're having a listening problem.
Okay. Or maybe I'm just continuing to go past your Led Zeppelin joke and
Nope.
Nope.
He's gone.
He's
Nope,
gone.
Skep's gone. Skep's
Huh?
gone.
oh, Skep's gone. Oh, okay.
Skep's gone.
Denver barbecue restaurant closes after staff walks.
Yeah, that's
To
not
my
how that
to me,
happens.
it's like it's sort of a job. I have trouble imagining an entire restaurant just walking out, but your mileage may vary on this sort of thing. Functional.
Oh, dude, it's a house of cards. Some restaurants, and if somebody gets that ball rolling, I could see that happening. I mean, what's the situation here?
The situation is former workers claim owner Jared Leonard had two first names. That's terrible. Had been deducting taxes from their paychecks, but failing to report them to the government. Oh yeah, I'll deduct your tax. Here's your withholding.
Oh,
That's a
And then go hike the Appalachian Trail.
I think, yeah, I think being a federal criminal, breaking federal law is justification to walk out of the job.
Yeah, there's like a
And
little
go find a new job.
Yeah, before you did all this stuff electronically, there's like a little book and you have to fill out a voucher and there's like numbers and it's all part of doing payroll. And that money is supposed to go to the government, not in your pocket.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yep, AJ's Pit Barbecue in Denver. We're just going to we're going to shut this mother down. Normally, I don't agree with that, but in this particular instance, it's
Shut that
like,
bitch
why
down.
bother working?
AJ, you done fucked up.
AJ, you
Well,
done
I mean, the
fucked
thing
up.
is, at that point, it becomes a matter of time before somebody comes and shuts it down, and then you're out of a job anyway. So
Yep.
you might as well just all get up and get the fuck out while the
Yep.
getting's good.
Conscious decision to just roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
So you showed a a video in our Discord, which was some sort of cooking ASMR thing, right?
I mean,
It was
she
like
doesn't
some sort of
really,
cottage
it's not
core
really
meets food
ASMR,
porn.
But she's got this cozy little stone cottage with a little and she's just a girl who cooks, and it's like I can't say it's not arousing because it is, because that's just like cooking. Sure, yeah, that's always arousing. But I mean, it's not like it's overtly sexual. It's just I guess
Functional.
Okay,
Right.
so
Is it the Irene fire cooking?
Yeah.
The, the
so-
thumbnail with boobies up against a shirt where
So
I can
what
see
do
her
you-
nipples and a pepper coming out of the chicken's penis.
So what do you think? What do you think about this then? Okay. By the way, this is a joke version of the thing we were just describing.
Oh, I just noticed that.
Oh, her, yeah, she's funny.
We're running a bit low.
Oh, yeah,
on
she's
our
funny. She makes fun of the
artisanal
one
butter,
girl.
and the
Yeah.
children won't accept anything less than artisanal. So I started to
She's
make a fresh
divorced now,
batch. I added
so,
some
you know,
fresh
if you
cream
like her,
from
you
the
can-
chicken.
She's divorced.
Yeah, she got divorced. She
Why?
has 2 sons.
This one or the other lady?
No, this one.
Okay.
I
Oh.
follow her on Instagram.
She might
Poor
be
thing.
slightly insane based on this comment she's making, but I like her.
Chickens to my heirloom
they decided to
mixer
break up.
and mixed it until the butter began to separate from the buttermilk. Once the two were cleaved away from each other, I gathered the butter into a
I love
ball
that the
and
children
gently
yearn for
massaged it to
artisanal
remove
butter.
any remaining buttermilk. I set
Cleaved.
aside the buttermilk for
Cleaved
use
away.
in future recipes before running my ball
Well,
of
she should
butter
have
underneath.
done better. She should have put the cream in a mason jar and shook it
Yep.
Yeah.
until
Do
she
it the
got butter that
old-fashioned
way.
way.
Yeah. Well,
this
she
is
goes.
a little bit.
Yeah.
too modern.
She goes
So
on.
for my
And,
next one, I did a nice lemon thyme
tiny.
butter, and then kept my final butter nice and simple with just a sprinkle of sea salt. I wrapped each of my butters in some ethically sourced parchment paper and stored them in the fridge for later use. I then enjoyed a bit of my sweet
that's
butter
very
on a
well.
sourdough pancake and a glass of buttermilk.
now that's solid, but she actually outdid herself with this other one. I've got one more of hers.
This morning, my kids asked me to make a paper airplane, but we were all out of paper, so I decided to make my own. I started by tearing up some old junk mail I had lying around and adding that to a jar with water and leaving it to soak. I added that to my food processor with a bit of concentrated airplane fuel and processed it until it was a mushy pulp. I added that to a separate bin with
Oh, I
some
love her
water
dress.
and dipped my Declan mold and
It's
got
a
a
very
thin
pretty
layer onto my screen. I let
love
the
the cat
excess
even
water drain off before flipping it onto a towel and then using a sponge to absorb any excess moisture. Once my sheets were dry enough to handle, I placed them outside in the sun to dry completely, and once they were nice
Like the
and crispy,
crystals.
I brought them inside. I've never done this before, so I summoned the mighty forces of geometry and beckoned the laws of nature to bend to the will of my aircraft. The children requested that this plane glide well, maintain stability during flight, and have a well-balanced center of mass, and I don't intend to let them down. Once I was happy with how they looked and gave a little test flight, I gave them to the children, and they said, "That'll do."
Okay. I will admit that initially I wasn't in on the joke, and then I started going, wait a second. This feels more like
If you see one in isolation,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you get annoyed. But then if you start one by one, you're like, wait a minute.
well,
you know?
the
making
butter
fun of
one. It was
somebody.
when she said ethically sourced paper. I'm like, okay, I now know this is a Poe.
It's a spoof.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the spoof that one lady who married the very obviously gay model dude, and tries to act like she is so much better than everyone else.
I don't
Because
mind.
they
I don't.
gas
Maybe I'm just not wired for it, but I don't quite get the ASMR thing, the appeal of it.
I like actual ASMR. I don't like this shit because it's not
Yeah, that's-
ASMR.
This is not.
Yeah, her voice was too annoying for it.
Oh, I actually,
I couldn't even understand what she was saying most of the time.
You know, the one that you talked about with the cottagecore woman, the busty cottagecore woman cooking in the country kitchen. Did you ever see any of the earlier Jamie Oliver stuff, like Jamie Oliver cooking at home? Because he has like a little shed that he would cook stuff in his backyard, like fresh
cooking?
vegetables. Yes. And I was sitting here thinking, wow, this is a big improvement on Jamie Oliver. that woman that you posted
like
the link to.
I would never watch Jamie Oliver.
Did we lose functional again?
I would never watch Jamie Oliver, so I don't know.
Well, it was like 20-something years ago, and I didn't know any better. That's my excuse.
Like, to me, the Irene kitchen thing, it wasn't really ASMR. It's just like, I don't know, something I could have in the background and be like, oh, okay, she's deep frying fish, okay, and have the smooth sounds of the puppy dog and the fire, and a lot of it has to do with my like love for her home or kitchen or whatever that is. That's just like, it's pure stone. It's got a built-in stone oven, and she's got the iron cast oven. So she's got like a really, really nice kitchen. It's just nice older essentials as opposed to modern what do you call them, appliances. Like it's the old tried true traditional stuff.
I feel like we've described this enough. I need to actually click on play. Let me let me bring this up so we can all see what we're seeing. That is a way of working with dough.
Like I said, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows it's gonna get views.
Yeah, she
nice
does.
Stove. It's not taking anything away from the recipe or that constant like firecrackers. I live in an apartment. I don't get fires anymore.
That is a pretty damn nice kitchen, except that the floor's not sealed. That's the only thing that bugs me from a food safety perspective. That cleaning up this would be bad.
Problem.
Yeah.
Well, you eventually get chronic colonies of bacteria living down there.
Well, that's why they used to wash it with a solution of quicklime.
And all our female panelists can look at is her giant ass. Like,
honey,
who's the perverts here, ladies?
Sweetheart.
Who are the perverts here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am admiring.
I hear
the
you
color
giggling
dress.
because
I love that color.
Honey, her thumbnails are blatantly sexual.
And it's cold in there too, so they've got that going for her.
It's like the ASMR girls who aren't trying to do ASMR, they're trying to do OnlyFans, but they need YouTube to get started. It's the same thing.
That is a great shot though, in terms of the lighting, and that is some sexy potato action right there. Okay. Anyway, how did we end up? How did we get here?
The urban peasant. Okay.
How did we end up here? I mean, I know it's my fault, but I just don't know how we got here.
Bob Ross didn't run around with his titties in a very thin top in a cold room.
Have titties.
Bob Ross was a very nice man.
Making the pouty porn face of, oh, look, it's a penis. Not doing that shit. My God, dude.
Okay, so how about we make fun of men for a bit, just for fun?
I'm
okay.
making fun of everybody.
Okay. My wife bears most of the housing and parenting responsibilities. I do my part for caring for our marriage.
Ooh, piece of shit.
I really don't care what it says in the rest of this article. I mean, I'm not really all that excited about the specifics, but I know this is okay.
Terrified of our marriage by not cheating on her. Is that where it's gonna?
He probably still cheats on her.
Well, I feel like I don't know.
He's considerate about it.
Yes, exactly. He doesn't tell her.
Yeah. My wife and I try to split household and parenting duties, but a lot still falls to her. I do my part by being the primary caretaker of our marriage, planning dates and romantic trips. I think more men should focus on keeping their marriage alive and not leave it to their wives. Now, there's some truth in that.
I agree.
There's some truth there.
Yeah, but he wants ass pats because this is his main contribution to the marriage. To their partnership is this.
Yep.
Come on now.
This is his chosen role.
Okay.
And obviously this falls to personality. I wouldn't do this. Skep wouldn't do this. I don't think Functional would do this. Because I think traditionally men sort of value themselves based on what we do and who we are. And I think relationships are work and they're important, and a lot of the things he's saying are true, but at the same time, he's sort of saying, I don't know, why does this annoy me so much?
Because it's half-assing
suspect.
it. Yeah, it's half-assing it.
It sounds like he's a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like,
definitely
he's
sus.
cheating on her, definitely, but he's not cheating on her with other women.
Oh, she's the beard. Okay, now I give it.
Well,
sure
she
she's the
works.
beard.
She works a lot and neglects him, so it doesn't count.
Oh yeah, because that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's just like honey,
Sorry, just trying to reverse the male logic.
No, it's and that's the problem is that marriage is work, and every relationship, whether it's friendship, marriage, whatever, is work. But it's okay, you planned a date. Most of the what is he consider planning a date? That's what I have to know. Is planning a date like, oh, we'll go to a dinner and a show, or romantic trips? What is a romantic trip? The one okay, so you go to a weekend to a cabin somewhere and that's what you do. That's what do those words mean to you? That's what it's like. That's what I need to understand. How many kids do they have? What are they all under? I saw
The primary breadwinner.
Well, it's if he's the primary breadwinner,
And
I can kind of. It's I can kind of understand a little bit of the breakdown of responsibilities, but just because you're the primary breadwinner doesn't mean you turn your back on being a parent. And it's what I need to know what he thinks these words mean.
Well, nobody.
Yeah, no, totally. There's a lot of information we don't have here, and what I'm trying to suss out is what is their end dynamic? Because is he just really bad at doing the things like changing diapers and scheduling play dates or whatever kinds of things you do with kids, or
or do they have a nanny and a
is he
housekeeper?
just an asshole who just no, I don't want to even consider.
My job is
do
to
this
bring
stuff.
money in for the kids, and that's it. And
Or
anything
just be your
beyond
boy
that.
toy. If she's the primary breadwinner and he's unemployed and plays fucking Fortnite all day,
Yeah.
these kinds of things really do matter in the grander dynamic.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it works for them, I'm not going to care either way.
Well, that's true. It doesn't involve me, but Business Insider, as I said earlier, because I think I even said I wasn't going to cover this stuff anymore, but this just slightly annoyed me. They have all these articles of the form. This is with the structure of my relationship, and it's awesome. ... Please validate me. Subtext.
Yeah.
Right. That's.
Validate my existence.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's if you want to be a house husband and stuff, fine. But a lot of the relationship stuff really should just be, nobody should have to be the love concierge in the marriage. This really should be stuff where they actually have an adult conversation and make decisions themselves.
Which
Cabin
should
in
be-
Vermont,
it should
your
be
kids stay with your
mutual.
mom, yada, yada, yada. Right?
It's also there should be conversations about this before. It's one of those things where it's kind of if you agreed to the fact that stay-at-home parent and the other one's the breadwinner, and that's how it is, and you have the discussion about how roles and stuff breaks down in that relationship, in that who takes care of what responsibilities, and that's what you agreed to, and you have civil conversations if something doesn't fit after a while because you don't feel valued or whatever. That's one thing, but this is this feels like the articles from a few years ago from all of the poly people, where it's no, you don't understand. My relationship is amazing, and you're just a bunch of judgmental assholes. And that's what it feels like, because it feels like Harry said, it feels like he's looking for validation. It's if you were really that secure in your relationship, you wouldn't care. And that's kind of where the problems come in, is that because it's that whole thing with everything is if you truly don't care what other people think, you won't take the time out of your day to post it on the internet and say you don't care. It's that same kind of mindset. It's if you truly were happy, you wouldn't care what other people thought. If you were truly okay with being poly or whatever, you wouldn't have to go to the internet to look for validation.
Right.
If this marriage really is as perfect and as happy as you're trying to hint that it is,
desperately hard to convey.
yeah, it's then you wouldn't have to post it on Business Insider. and that's the thing of that. It's always always the first red flag. If it's really that happy, you would be doing other things and not caring what everybody else thought. I do love the fact that they had to put it in bold print, the author not pictured.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
The poor dude.
Can I show you some related humor?
Go for it.
Holy shit, you're a dependent.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Dean, get over here. So, like, are you a stay-at-home husband, or do you have a job?
I basically do whatever the fuck I want.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
it's pretty fun. Good times.
My life.
Let's see. Let's close tabs to the right and move on to the next thing. That's from a channel that does a lot of funny videos by military people. Skep.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
You've seen that one?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's
Holy.
these guys here, Vet TV.
Yeah.
A little shout out to those guys. Actually, some of these videos are pretty funny and would probably be even funnier if I served active duty before. But let's see what else I got on Vet TV right now. Stop! Don't yell at me. So hostile. Recruiters, mission first, drills. There's like a whole thing about drill sergeants. That seems fun. So it's like Angry Cops, but like a whole bunch of them. Yeah, cool. A Grunt's Life.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. Recruiters, mission first. All right. Anyway, moving on. And put a little check mark next to that. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? How about fish?
Oh God, is this another fish added to your hated fish list?
I have 3 of them here. We don't have to talk about them all.
No, talk about him, Harry. Talk about him. Come on.
Okay. Have you heard about these little bastards, blue dragons?
Yeah.
Do you know what's terrible about them? I mean, not Sora, Serenity.
Aren't they like poisonous or something?
Yeah, they're like super poisonous. They're
But
like,
they're so nice. Look at the pretty.
no, they're
pretty.
not nice. They're not nice. Okay, so what these little bastards do, okay, the blue dragon is a type of mollusk or sea slug known as a nudibranch. It can be found on the surface of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans in temperate and tropical waters throughout the world. This ornate creature rarely grows larger than 3 centimeters long or just over 1 inch. The blue dragon floats on its back. An air bubble in its stomach keeps it maintain buoyancy. Its brightly colored underbelly exposed to airborne predators. The blue side of its body acts as camouflage against the backdrop of ocean waves. So it's small, and sometimes they wash up on the beach. And every one of those little pointy bits sticking out of it is full of poison. They don't create poison. They get poison from the things that they eat. They like to go, hey, is that a man-o-war? And then they start nom-nomming on it. And they take all of the horrible stuff in the man-o-war and concentrate it into their little appendages. They're just like a little hazard waiting to ruin your day at the beach. And they will make you really, really, really hate life if you step on them.
Oh, I remember during COVID when everybody was doing a real life Pokemon thing about
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although blue dragons live in the open ocean, they sometimes wash up onto the shore, making for a spectacular, if small, sight against the beige sand. Beach-going humans may be compelled to pick up the tiny beauties for a closer look, but doing so can result in a painful sting. Yeah, by painful, I mean like really, really, really terribly, horribly painful. Like,
And for a long time. It'll stay bad for a long time.
yeah. So these suck. How about something else that sucks? How about
Those aren't fish, Harry. You lied. You promised fish, and you gave me sea anemone.
well, here's a fish, the stonefish. Another one of those things that doesn't actually create venom. It gets it by eating things that are venomous.
I want that power.
Yeah.
Stonefish are nasty. Those things can kill
Look
you.
at that
Yeah.
face.
Look at that
what
face.
a rump.
Yeah.
They teach them to slide their feet on the bottom in order to avoid stepping on stonefish. Because if you slide your feet into them, they just swim away.
Yeah. People unlucky enough to step on a stationary stonefish will suffer excruciating pain and may also develop more serious symptoms such as weakness, fast heart rate, fluid in the lungs, convulsions, respiratory and cardiac failure, and rarely death.
That all.
Stonefish are one of the very few species that are both venomous and poisonous.
Yep.
Apart
Nice.
from the venom they have on their dorsal spines, which poses significant health to public threat, threat to public health. They also have a toxin that they secrete onto their skin, but we don't know much about its function.
Because they weren't big enough assholes already.
Yeah. They're one of the very few species that can withstand long periods outside of the water, being stuck in the sand and rocky shores or in tidal pools once the tide recedes. They're also incredibly sluggish and somewhat averse to swimming, which is counterintuitive when you think of a fish. They prefer instead to sit and wait, being ambush predators. Basically just being little caltrops waiting for some unsuspecting human to come along and step on the damn thing. They're absolutely just the most terrible things.
Yep. Yep, they suck. Another fish that sucks, Harry.
Another fish that sucks. And they have like little spines all over them. And each spine has its own independent supply of stuff. So it isn't like there's one gland feeding into a bunch of fangs and stuff. The more spines you step on, the worse your life sucks. Yeah, no, they're terrible. They're terrible. I have one more terrible thing from the ocean. Okay, how about... shut up. How about
the giant squid?
The Humboldt squid?
It's more than 15 years old, Harry.
What does that matter?
I don't know.
There are newer articles. This is just the one that has the best picture of this giant asshole squid. So,
best picture without a paywall.
So what makes these squid terrible? Okay, they can be a few meters long. They travel and hunt in groups of up to 1,200. They have a massive beak upon which to chomp on you. And their tentacles are lined with fangs, basically, like teeth for ripping your flesh off. And occasionally, these assholes go after people. I don't know.
I'm, the water, then.
I'm scared to go to the beach, and now I'm scared to go in the water. No, it's just a terrible, terrible creature. The Humboldt squid. It's just awful. A carnivorous cephalopod. No.
Cephalopod.
The carnivorous cephalopods, which weigh up to 45 kilograms, come up from the depths last week, which swam with swarms of them roughing up unsuspecting divers. Some reported tentacles enveloping their masks and yanking at their cameras and gear. Yeah.
I know what they're doing.
It's basically a real life... yeah, they're nicknamed red devils for their rust coloring and mean streak. Divers wanting to observe the creatures often bait the water using a metal viewing cage or wear chainmail to avoid slashes by the creature's tentacles.
I'm sorry, you're going to their environment and they're the mean ones? Like, come on.
You're going in their neighborhood, Harry. Come on now.
Okay.
Come to my house, see what happens.
Yeah.
All I can say is that...
throw a cat at you.
Is that their attitude would change a lot with some high-temperature oil and a little bit of breading.
Yeah,
you're going to have to get to him first,
calamari.
Sicilian calamari is actually very good.
It sure is.
You cut that up you clean it up, you cut it up into rings, and you basically hit it with like hot peppers and tomato sauce and like capers and all sorts of stuff. Oh, it's so good.
This is the reason why fishes don't like you, Harry.
Olive oil.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway,
horseradish and ketchup. It's like
that's enough of the ocean.
Horseradish and cat.
Oh, Green Badger Outdoors says they're also cannibalistic.
Yeah, they'll eat each other.
They'll eat each other.
Yeah, they're complete
like
assholes.
We eat pigs, and pigs will eat each other.
They're like pigs if pigs had Cthulhu tendrils.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, they're terrible. And they're pretty smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, they're related to octopi. Octopi, on the other hand, are generally okay.
Yeah, they're usually pretty chill.
Squids are just complete fucking assholes.
Squid's back on the menu, boys.
Okay. Let's see. Bill Burr is stupid. Don't want to talk about that. Don't want to talk about that. No, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I gauge the mood of the chat and then try to, in the panel and try to figure out which things you want to look at.
No, that's fair.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is another palate cleanser, but nobody's going to complain. So there was a TV commercial that came on like a couple decades ago, and I thought that this was actually CGI, but it wasn't. They actually did the following.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, 2005, Sony Bravia ad won countless awards and racked up millions of YouTube views. They actually let a bajillion little bouncy balls down this hill in San Francisco.
They pissed a lot of people in San
my
Francisco
God.
off.
It actually broke windows and caused all sorts of trouble. So a quarter of
Oh
a
my
million of
God.
these things.
Is that where is that on Lombard Street?
Well, sure looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got all your little bouncy balls, and then just
And they just turned them loose.
just set these things up. I think there's a YouTube video here. Here they are firing them out of a cannon.
Yep. They need to give them the maximum lift so they got the maximum bounce.
Yeah. There should be a YouTube video here, or maybe I put it in the other
It's
column.
probably the Bravia ad.
It is the Bravia ad, and it should be linked here. Sorry. But yeah, can you imagine the amount of chaos that this would cause doing this for real? I could have sworn this was, oh yeah, here's, sorry about your car.
Free bouncy ball.
Yeah. But cleaning all this up must have been a huge pain in the ass.
In the water system.
Yeah.
Oh God, fuck these.
All
guys.
these
How is people not in
microplastics.
jail?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It does
Clean
look
that
really
up.
awesome though,
I wonder
doesn't
if
it?
I wonder if it's like glitter. I wonder if people are still finding bouncy balls.
The California Coastal Commission.
They'll be finding them for hundreds of years.
I think people should be allowed to punch the people who
Sony
were okay with
Bravia,
this, you
yeah,
know?
Sony people, yeah.
Sorry, let me see if I can find the ad. It's supposed to be here, but I think I screwed up the spreadsheet.
Being San Francisco, what will happen there is that people will dig up these balls as souvenirs, and eventually all of those balls will get dug up, but people will still come and hunt for those balls. So other people will hide balls there for them to find.
Harry, there's a link of one
I
I found
promise
that's
you
4K
something like that will
remastered.
happen. Just because San Francisco is San Francisco.
Yeah. Here, let me I think this should do it here.
Rumor has it balls occasionally turn up for sale at San Francisco garage sales. That's fun.
Okay. Sorry, my disorganization here. Let's kill the sound because we don't want to get copy struck over that. But I mean,
It
this
starts
is
out slow. It starts out slow.
yeah. In the beginning, there were just a few. I mean, this is very well made, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautifully done.
Yeah.
I hope that child wasn't actually there when it happened, though.
That's looking at Coit Tower. I actually think that is a street that is roughly parallel.
Yeah, and it looks like they're feeding it down that alleyway too. There's just
Yeah.
bouncing balls everywhere.
It's like
Quarter
a
of a million of
monster
these damn
movie.
things.
Yeah.
God, the cleanup must have been insane.
Now, this right there, that's the backside of Lombard Street. I promise you. I know this. That's the Lombard Street would be straight over that hill.
This is pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this would not get made today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah, for good reason. The Coastal Commission would go there. Microplastics, turtles, death. No, you
What
can't.
year was that made?
2005.
Wow. I'm surprised it was made then.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Bastards.
was originally part of a demo disc for the Sony Bravia TVs in stores.
Oh, that makes sense. Here, look at what this can do.
Yeah, look how many different variations of colors it can do and movements and stuff like that. Allegedly, that's the year that Sony overtook Sharp as the lead LCD TV. Because this was for LCD TVs. This was not for LED TVs.
Well, yeah. LCD. Yeah, you're right. Oh, okay. Well, let's make fun of some other things. No, do I want to make fun of anything? Oh, well, here's Sora. Carolina, the giant rat, retires as a hero after saving many lives.
Hey,
So we
good
talked about the
job.
giant rats cleaning up the mines in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, this one did such a good job for so long that it gets to retire.
Yay!
Happy?
That's lovely.
Yeah.
What a nice giant rat. Good
Yeah.
job.
Good job,
Good job,
giant rat.
Good job, rat.
See, look, here's what they look like when they're doing their job. That one's not looking nearly as plush.
Probably because it's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
How well would you
Nancy
look
Pelosi rat.
How good would you look if you had to sniff around a minefield?
Not very.
That's not
I'd probably just fall
Would
apart.
Look at the nice
good point.
Whiskers. Look at those lovely whiskers.
Yeah.
Look at that lovely lush fur.
Okay.
Taken care of, Rat. Well taken care of.
So you remember we talked about the Blue Ghost lander on the moon and how cool that was? Well, while it was there during the recent lunar eclipse that we had, it was effectively an eclipse for that on the moon.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is anything we've actually ever seen before, but here's the view from the Blue Ghost lander during the lunar eclipse as the Earth eclipsed the sun.
Interesting.
How fun is it to be on the other end of that?
Very cool.
That is very
That is
cool.
very awesome.
I don't
Boy.
think humans have ever seen this before in any form.
During an eclipse.
Can you see the Bailey's beads? See the beads?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that is actually just pretty cool. And yeah. Because I think eclipses are kind of a stupid thing to get super excited about. I mean, I get that it's like a big spectacle, but ultimately it doesn't really mean a whole lot. But to actually send a probe to the moon and have that probe observe the Earth eclipsing the moon, so you basically have an Earth eclipse on the moon.
Right. That's an Earth eclipse.
Feels like
right.
We've gone full circle.
A Terran eclipse.
Yeah, a Terran eclipse. I like it.
That's good stuff, Harry.
No, that is good
Thanks.
stuff. How about some health science, nutrition? I don't know. What category would we put this in? A cheap daily supplement appears to boost brain function in older people.
Oh yeah,
So you've heard about this?
yeah. The psyllium, inulin. I mean,
yeah.
inulin fiber.
And FOS, the phosphosaccharide something or other. It sounds like a very Mary Poppins kind of word, doesn't it? Fructooligosaccharide.
Oh, but that
Hang
might
on.
You just made that up. You just made that up.
I'll help us out here. It is a it's a fructooligosaccharide. That is actually what that is.
Yeah. Well, and also inulin. So the way this is supposed to work is they did a study on some twins. Was it 30-something pairs of twins? And they found cognitive improvement in it's a double-blind. I believe it was double-blind, but essentially there was a control group in the twins, and they found cognitive improvement.
Almost always double-blind.
Sorry?
If they're well controlled, they're almost always double-blind.
They're almost always, but whether or not the researchers knew who was in it or not may not matter quite so much in this particular case. But they actually studied this in England and found that of the twins, the brothers who got the supplement showed measurable improvements in cognition. When they sampled their biome in their gut, they found that there were a certain type of bacterium which is found to be correlated with good sort of gut-brain mental function in animal studies. There was a lot more of it. So this is what would we call this? A prebiotic, Sora? It actually works with the gut bacteria to break down fiber and other things. Yeah. So a lot of the artificial sweeteners like the sugar alcohols and things monkey with this balance. And so it's good that we're actually learning this stuff, because as more and more people try to become healthier and use these other products, understanding how they either help or hurt the gut biome is actually kind of useful. So yeah, what's this thing called? A bifidobacterium reduces cognitive deficits by regulating gut-brain connections. So, I mean, this is all very, very early. The good news is it doesn't cost much of anything. So you can get, for like $10, you can get a 25-day dose from Amazon of a handful of different probiotic strains combined with these two chemicals, with 3 grams of those two. I'm not giving you medical advice. Talk to your doctor first before you do anything. But this is a cheap date as such things go, and it may have some positive effects. So, like I said, do your own research and figure it out for yourself.
We do not recommend that you take these.
I will tell you that
no recommendation.
That I'm actually pretty careful about which stuff I take, because I drink a lot of hot tea, and I try not to. I try to restrict my window of ingesting calories. So I use a low to no calorie sweetener in the morning with my tea. And I use allulose now. But there's a whole bunch of things between was it the xylitols and, God, I can't even remember all the different sugar alcohols that are out there. Erythritol. And every single one of these kind of shifts that balance one way or the other. Some of them are actually good for your gut bacteria. Some of them are not so good. And people get all kinds of gastric problems using these compounds sometimes. So,
terrible problems.
If you want to keep your life simple, just eat sugar and use it in moderation.
Right. Exactly.
And avoid all the weird shit. But if you're going to monkey with your diet, it's probably good to do your reading and understand what you're doing.
Fair.
I mean, especially if it's something you're going to do all the time, like what you put in your cup of tea in the morning or your coffee as an everyday thing, that's probably something you need to pay a little bit of attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
No, it is. Yeah. You have some discretion about what you put in your body.
And sugar-free gummy bears in large amounts are a very, very bad idea.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Slip aside.
So good.
Loneliness and gummy bears is a bad combination.
So, you remember when Trump gave his little not State of the Union address, right? It wasn't technically a State of the Union, but all these idiots were holding up little signs. Yeah. Does this ring a bell for anybody?
Vaguely, but not really.
Yeah. Absolutely. When the Democrats made fools of themselves.
So there was a show. It was an Armando Iannucci thing that was on in the UK called The Thick of It. And there's the guy who played Doctor Who. Why can I not remember his name?
Cumberbatch?
No. The Scottish guy. Brain not working. Anyway, here, just show you this little bit of the show.
Okay.
So basically, the reporters try to get her rearrange herself so that she's standing in front of this sign. It says, "I am bent." And bent in the slang of the UK basically means corrupt. Right? So the reporters convince her to stand in front of this sign so that they could photograph her at that angle because reporters are dicks.
Well, okay, if you crop
Of course,
in,
if you crop. Malcolm! You tried. You really tried.
Oh, yes.
Did your best, mate.
Very happy with it.
They did a
Did your
movie.
best.
Thanks.
In the Loop.
In the Loop, yes. I saw that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I did keep
Were
one
you
other.
thinking of David Tennant?
No.
No, this guy here.
Peter Capaldi.
The one you're
Peter
seeing.
Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi.
Oh, so just a little sample of Peter Capaldi. So, Functional, you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay, so this relates to Star Wars.
What's that film that you love?
What film?
The one about the fucking hairdresser, the space hairdresser and the cowboy. The guy's, he's got a tinfoil pal and a pedal bin. His father's a robot and he's fucking fucked his sister. Lego. They're all made of fucking Lego.
Star Wars.
That's the one, right. It's like that, okay. I'm gonna fucking kill all the bad guys. And you'll be able to blow up the big...
The Death Star.
The Death Star thing.
Yes.
Then you can go and live happily ever after on the planet of the teddy bears.
Very works. Very.
I love the thick of it so much. I love the Malcolm Tucker character that Peter Capaldi played.
That is so much fun.
He's just the worst. It's so good. Sorry, I'm just such a child when it comes to this stuff.
Planet of the teddy bears. That is so funny.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, though I digress again. So I had... the problem is if you hold a sign up in 2025 and people are photographing you, did they not realize that you could write very easily with Photoshop anything you want on that sign? And then somebody has an image of you holding a sign saying whatever somebody wants to Photoshop in. It's like, did this not occur to somebody?
They're not sending their best.
No. I have
Never have.
I have a few examples of some of the signs that people held up. Scrolling. Sorry. So much stuff in Discord.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Discord.
Like, for instance, this one. You know, just a little political satire. or you know, you could have this one. Just a bunch of, they say, I'm retarded with arrows. And then one person says, I didn't get my retarded sign. or just America last. I voted against women. I steal from taxpayers. Illegals first. I love war. I mean, come on. It's so obvious that this is what was going to happen. Didn't they ever watch the thick of it? I mean, did they not know the basic lesson of be careful what you get photographed near, and for God's sakes, don't hold an easily photoshoppable sign?
Good Lord, this is like an invitation to do it.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible, but this is just a meme. There's no sign. Yeah. I just throw this up for your amusement and edification.
That's great fun.
The picture of Pelosi is like watching a Fix-It, Botox, and Smirnoff commercial all at once. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. What do we have here?
Oh, God.
I mean, while I'm here in Discord. No, that's too edgy. We're not going to do that one.
Okay.
Hey, Sora, what do you think about this? What do you think about this shirt? It says "Luck Girl."
That's not what I read. Okay.
I can't wait to show up at a party in my new lucky shirt.
Okay.
Just full of luck.
Thank you, Timu.
You want high quality meme? Too bad. Here, Wednesday. Fuck you. I'm very, very, very easily abused.
That's good.
Okay. Understand paranoid people better by following them around.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here's some more of them. My Ozempic isn't working. I mean, there are just so many of them. The problem is don't hold up a sign if you don't want to have people Photoshop it to put terrible things about you on the damn sign. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Could at least do some color and light.
Just make at least let it be a challenge. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That was just a thought that I had earlier. Figured we could capture that in tonight's show. Let's see. How much time do we have left? 18 minutes or so. Let's see. Well, we've already made fun of fish. Oh, here's a food thing. Are you familiar with David Leibowitz? Anybody?
Not offhand.
Well,
not by name.
You should be, because he's an American who lives in Paris, who's the food photographer guy, and writes about food and stuff. And he does a very good job, but mostly focusing on stuff in Paris. And he actually did this little thing he wrote about Ottolenghi's lemon blueberry cake. Here's some high quality food porn for you. And I recommend David Leibowitz's newsletter. It's very, very good. So let's just look at that. How about that? How about that functional? How about that lemon blueberry cake?
Yeah.
That looks really
good, but I would not have the icing.
I'm liking the ratio of blueberries in that. I'm feeling very positive about this as a thing to put in my mouth.
If it's not like 40% blueberry, you did it wrong.
All of the books by I think his name is Yotam Ottolenghi are actually pretty damn interesting books. And most of the stuff that David Leibowitz writes about really centers around the food scene in Paris, and he's a really good writer. If you aren't familiar with him, you should probably make a point of becoming familiar with him if you like this kind of stuff. Food porn. Anyway, I'm going to put this link in the chat in case anybody cares.
All right.
Well, I try to cover a wide variety of things.
Good stuff, Harry.
Let's see. Assassin has trouble with people named Leibowitz, like Fran Leibowitz. Yeah. Codename John Stewart. Is John Stewart's real name Leibowitz?
I don't know. That's what people say.
Isn't there a photographer of like Hollywood?
Annie
photographer?
Leibowitz is a
Yeah.
photographer, very famous photographer.
Yeah, who has somewhat child porny images of certain
Yep,
child
absolutely.
stars.
She's weird.
Well, that's
weird,
terrible.
Weird. Yep.
Yeah.
She's
Some
into
really
that
beautiful.
world.
She did I remember, like, I don't know, it's probably 10, 15 years now. Disney series. So like Cinderella, that kind of stuff with different stars. I really liked a lot of those images. I remember like cutting them out of magazines and using them on my textbooks and stuff, but she also got under fire because of a photo shoot. I think it was Miley Cyrus at the time and her dad, and she was underage, and it was CP, man. Like the way, like, it was gross. It was like child trafficking exploitation images. It's weird.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Natalie Wood's mom. Okay, let's not.
No kidding.
Every time I see a picture of Natalie Wood where she's near a body of water, I kind of go,
yeah.
I'm going, stay away.
Stop,
There's
Natalie,
bad things in
no.
the ocean. You don't even need a fish. Everybody,
there are people who know what happened.
Yeah, well, we can't even find Selminio. Anyway, you can't make this up. UN hypocrites bulldoze thousands of acres of Amazon rainforest for a 4-lane highway to climate change summit. That's like, the optics of this are pretty bad.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a thing of beauty.
I mean, in the big scheme of things, is it really that big a deal? No. But the optics are terrible.
Yeah, man.
Malcolm Tucker would tell them not to do this. Or at least cover it with like camouflage nets or something so nobody can see it from space. Oh, you see this big gash that we just sent through the Amazon? Nothing to see here.
Where is that from and to?
Let's see. The state government sustainable, blah 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 blah.
It looks like it might be in the Brasilia area. That's why I was.
I don't know where they're holding. I don't know where they're holding their stupid conference. Sorry, I don't know. Gateway Pundit, not really the greatest source for news.
What is the name of the conference?
The summit is in Belém, Brazil. So it's COP30.
Belém, B-E-L-M?
Yeah.
Spell it.
B-E-L-E with an accent M. So for those who don't want to fly in on their private jets, you can take this massive road that we decided to just carve through the rainforest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because we care about the environment so much that we're going to hold this in a remote location and then build a 4-lane road to get to a remote location. It's fine. It's fine.
That is a remote frickin' location. That is in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's almost in Guyana. Oh my God.
I'm gonna just allege that they're gonna do some Bohemian Grove shit while they're there, and that the reason that it's in the middle of nowhere is to keep people away that they don't want to have bother them.
Yeah,
How about we just hold this
shouldn't be a
somewhere where
problem.
nobody can see it that we don't allow in? How about we just strictly control access to the summit by doing it in the middle of nowhere?
Or build a freeway to it.
Yeah, well, there'll be a toll road on it or something. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. The police will be on there to keep the riffraff off. And believe me, in Brazil, they know how to do that.
Yep. Humanity was a mistake. Okay.
Brazil was.
Oh, okay. So this is filed under In My Defense, I was left unsupervised.
Okay.
Big 12 tournament court raises eyebrows with hundreds of logos. You see the court, it's got Roman numeral 12s all over it. But when you see it from up high, it's almost this nausea-inducing thing. Look at that. Doesn't that just make you want to take meclizine?
Yeah, I see what they're seeing.
How? Why?
It's a perspective thing. It's tricking your eye, and your eye thinks it disagrees with what your eye says you should be unbalanced, and the rest of you says no, I'm balanced, and that's what's going on.
It looks like one of those 3D things where you're supposed to look at it and eventually you see the 3D puppy in it or something. It's just like
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right.
So if you're playing, that's probably a little distracting too, because you're just looking out over the sea of visual graffiti.
Yeah. It might be big enough where it's just a piece of floor to you.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I think this is pretty terrible, and
I agree.
So
It's
how
awful.
does something like this come about? Is it that everybody is there's one person who's in charge and everybody else is afraid to say anything,
Yes,
or are they literally
exactly.
all
That's
incompetent?
exactly that. No, that's exactly what happened. Is the insulated CEO makes a decision, and nobody's going to say boo about it.
Yeah, well, it's the Pac-12, the Big 12, the Big 12, but we don't have enough Big 12 branding on the court. How about, I got an idea. How about we just put Roman numeral 12s just all over the thing? Like it's, God, I can't remember the name of that designer and the terrible wallpaper they used to do around the turn of the century. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Morris? Something Morris?
Yeah, thank you. It's like a Morris wallpaper. It's terrible. It's terrible. Except instead of tiny flowers, it's X's and I's.
I've always been partial to the strawberry bird of Morris wallpaper. I actually have I have a set of like makeup pouches with that print.
So it's William Morris, right?
William Morris, yes. I really like, but I know what you mean. They're really busy, very heavy, very of the time. Exactly.
So William Morris wallpaper designs, just so that people know what we're talking about here. There's a lot of detail and it's very busy, but they're not Roman numeral 12s. That's the main thing. Right?
Thank
Right.
God for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're way off into the weeds now. Cool.
Where we do some of our best work, Harry.
This is just an amazing headline. Death-defying neuroscientist turned OnlyFans model confronts life with memory loss after brutal bike accident caused by a pigeon. Does it even...
Hasn't this happened to all of us?
Death-defying neuroscientist turned OnlyFans model confronts life with memory loss after brutal bike accident caused by a pigeon. Have you unpacked that yet, Sora?
Amazing.
It is amazing. So essentially, she was a neuroscientist. She became an OnlyFans model. She was riding a motorcycle, and I guess because she didn't have proper head protection on, she ended up crashing said motorcycle. And that's how we end up with that headline. Pretty exciting, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Bad things happen.
Well, you have to kind of move on, I guess, and
Yeah.
well done that she found a new career.
You got to wear the right protection because bees, pigeons, and things are a fact of life, and you don't want something that small taking you out. Just
They hit you in the eye.
all the gear all the time. Just
That's right.
even if helmets
Wear
are
your
optional,
gear.
just do the smart thing and just wear the damn thing. Seriously.
Yes.
There was a very effective. It was when I was traveling in Italy many years ago. They had a very effective ad for this. So I remember it because I always liked it. It was basically, was it in Italy or was it in Paris? I can't remember. Like our fans. But anyway, you basically had a split screen, and on one side was a guy in a motorcycle, and on the other side was a lady in like one of those Vespa moped type things. And she's, he's all in his black leathers with that full blackout type type of helmet with the full face shield, everything very cool. And she's, very pretty, elegant, like going to work with her hair out and everything, and no helmet. And they both park their respective vehicles and drop something. And as they bend down to pick up what they've dropped, they collide heads. So heavy helmet to no helmet. And when they get up, he continues on his way like nothing happened. And it's shown to basically, the way she's moving is like she's got a break, like a head injury. And it was something to the effect of, you never know when you're going to need protection, wear your helmet. Because it shows like it's not just you're going to fall over or get hit by a car, but it's something like this. This is very important. Pay attention, that kind of stuff. And I thought that was very good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I have a little thing that I thought was amusing, and I just added it. It doesn't have a topic, so I just called it Pro-Ukraine Gets Drafted. So do that. Turn on the sound so you won't call me a boomer.
Man, I really stand with Ukraine. I wonder if people know just how much I stand with Ukraine.
This is from info_enema.
Maybe I could...
See? Look at that. Well, look at what a great guy he is, right?
I did it. I really did it. Now people know I'm a good person.
USRB draft notices.
Oh, no. How is this possible? I can't be drafted. I'm 40 years old. I have kids. I was recently hit by a bus. I just wanted to show that I was a good person, not actually be a good person.
Based on a new federal order, when you post in support of a foreign war, you will automatically be drafted to fight in that war. Thank you for volunteering, patriots.
What have I done?
Anyway, I was amused.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Stand with Ukraine.
Good stuff. Stand. How? What is your commitment, patriot?
That might be an excessive level of responsibility. I think if every time you post something you haphazardly you get drafted, that might be a bit much. But I like the intent. I like the message.
People would stop posting when they're drunk.
Wear your helmet. Don't be a virtue signaling twit. I believe that's the takeaway.
Absolutely.
I think I can even say that that's the official position of Minions of the Zoo. No, I can't. I don't speak for all the Minions. I can't do that. Let's see. Oh, well.
Some of us like being nitwits, Harry.
So do you guys remember the cat piano?
Refresh my memory.
Well, it was a piano where basically by poking a pin in the cat's tails, you could get it to squawk, and you lined them up based on their tonal qualities, and you could play a little song on it. They never actually built it. It was just something that somebody dreamt up to offend people.
A conceptual cat piano.
A conceptual cat piano. So this person actually decided to do something similar, and what they did was they hooked up a bunch of paintball guns to a piano and pointed it at a bunch of music students who volunteered to get hit by this, and they would make a noise, and he was trying to have it sort of do something good, but unfortunately the noise was out of tune, so he basically took all the mics on each of the people and auto-tuned it to the correct note so he could play music by shooting paintballs at music students.
I built a gun piano to make music from pain, but there was a problem. No one wanted to stand in front of it.
Yeah. So, as I just sort of explained it here, let's just go forward a little bit.
An idea. Look at these microphones. This setup will force the correct note to be sung, so even their screams will become beautiful music. Ready?
Yes.
I will try a chord on the people over there. Okay, let's try the C major scale. this is promising. I will try to play a song now.
Short one.
Hey, I hear so much talk. Okay. Shh.
I will kill you.
Focus. It was time. Could I finally play something that you could actually hear what it was?
This is excellent.
That's excellent.
So Skep, you
Yeah.
familiar with Rush E? It's
No.
like an impossible piece of music that just gets faster and faster and faster. He
Okay.
actually played Rush E with this setup.
Oh, that's fun.
So I'm going to put the link to the to this in the chat for anybody who's interested, and you can check out this guy's channel. He's not lacking for subscribers. He's got 1.5 million, and this video has 16.6 million
Nice.
views. So
Nice.
we're not.
He's doing well.
This isn't like an unknown thing that we've got here. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. And we've actually gone the distance, but I feel like we have to do one more thing.
Just one more thing.
So we still don't have Serenity
Cosmic
back?
Cannon?
What's that?
We still don't have Serenity back.
I don't think so yet.
Oh well. She'll have to I want her to be here so she can criticize me because she's gonna give me an oh Harry.
She's seeing
And she's going
your
to be sad and disappointed at me for
Yeah.
posting what I'm about to post. But she'll have to criticize me after the show. So
That's
that'll be
okay.
fine. Okay. OnlyFans creator who allegedly slept with 100 men in a single day is now meeting fans at nursing homes to give them a good time. So
my
she's doing
God.
public outreach by going around and brightening up the
Doing
lives
her
of
thing.
men at nursing homes.
What a nice girl.
What a nice girl. Is she hoping to get adopted?
Probably.
Yeah. On the one hand, no. On the other hand, not enough people actually go and visit people who are stuck in nursing homes. So is it a wash? I mean, ethically, does this just sort of balance out? Anybody?
I think it's perfect balance in the universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's gonna get a couple STDs for her trouble.
I mean, if she is going to run around having sex indiscriminately with a bunch of people, yeah,
I guess.
she could put this on her college application for when she tries to go
doing
back
her
to
part.
university. Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes.
No, not gonna.
No. I mean, ew, but yay?
Yeah.
I really am kind of split on this. I don't need to split the room. I personally am not really sure how I should feel about this.
I don't know.
So-
I just the amount of attention seeking is just quite a lot.
Apparently this
I hope
guy's
she's
82
okay.
and his name is Steve. Good job, Steve. And unlike that old guy who married Anna Nicole Smith, she's not running around plundering all their inheritances.
Yeah.
She might be casting a broad net.
Might be. She's going to get a lot of Christmas cards with like $1 in them this year. I can just tell you that right now. To my favorite little visitor. Thanks, Steve. Okay.
Nice.
We good now?
Remind me of my granddaughter.
Very good.
All right. Well, this has been your Minions of the Zoo for Saturday.
We
Thank you,
certainly
panel. Thank you, chat. I'm disappointed in myself, too. Good night, everybody.